Alrighty. Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, everyone. So, welcome to our very first episode of Talk Tuesday. I am Dr. Pamela Davis, and I have with me,
I'm Dr. Celeste Payne.
yeah, and we are thrilled to be with you on our very first episode of Talk Tuesday. Um, I remember connecting with Celeste after an event, and we said, we want to do a podcast. And so here it is. So, we're going to kick off tonight just helping you get to know a little bit more about who we are, what we do, who we do it for, and the products and services we offer. So, Dr. Payne, would you like to go first?
Sure. Um, well, let me just say something about you first before we.
Okay, okay.
So I we met, as she said, at an event, and it was a couple years ago. It was right before I really moved to Jacksonville. We're both in Jacksonville, Florida, and you meet people and their countenance, their presence, their language. It's like, oh, I need to know that person and we need to connect. And so that is how I felt when I met her. And I felt that we could benefit each other, that we could possibly promote each other and do something great like this podcast. So I had to give you your props because I think you killed that workshop I was in, and I was like, "Oh, I need to know her." So
You're
that,
kind. You're kind.
well, I'm Dr. Celeste Payne, and I am like the art lady, I guess, if you want to say, the therapeutic art lady. And so basically, I'm an educator, I'm an author, an artist, I am a speaker, and I'm the founder of Arts Empowered Inc. And I also am the founder of an organization called The Well Life LLC. And we'll talk about that. They kind of work together, but they do a couple of different things. And pretty much for over a decade, I've worked in education, I've worked in the arts, publishing, and so education has been about over a decade where I've been actually in the school system and with students. And then publishing, oh, that has been close to almost 20 years. And creative technology the same way. And basically, I've helped people in multiple ways dealing with creativity. So, on a business level, I could help you learn how to use Canva or do something digital. The other day, I had a client ask me to create a reel for it was a health awareness day. And so we created a reel for her. And I use Canva, so I know how to use that really, really well. But also, a bigger part of what I do is therapeutic art for people who are busy entrepreneurs like Pam and I, who have multiple things on their plate, and we don't take care of ourselves. And so part of what I do is make sure that people have an outlet, and that outlet is through the arts. And so as you're joining in with us, go ahead and speak to us in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Let us know where you're tuning in from so we can shout out and give you some love. And with that, Pam, tell us a little bit about Growth Matters.
Oh wow. Yes, I will definitely share. But I want to say to I feel like Dr. Celeste, you and I are kindred spirits. So, like the intense sides of us, but I feel like you keep me balanced with just the art and the therapy, really. So, like, you can do all of these technical, concrete things, but you also have this creative lens. And I think that contributes to, just the bond that we have. And even though it's only been a few short years, I feel like I've known you for a long time. And so I'm honored to be sharing this platform with you. And um, folks, you heard all the things that she touched on that she's an expert in. So Canva is huge, like all of the tricks and turns there, but even just some of the behind the scenes things that she shared about the reel and the therapeutic piece of art for those of us that work hard and are not taking care of ourselves. So I'm really glad to know you. And I'm glad that I get to talk a little bit about what I do with respect to Growth Matters. So I'm an executive coach and owner of Growth Matters LLC. And I have two tracks. So, sort of like Dr. Payne was talking about, just giving you an inside look or even an aerial view of how I see my services set up. So, as executive coach, I work with individuals and groups in terms of coaching for more visibility, coaching for confidence, coaching for clarity. And I do that for my primary audience is comprised of women, and it is those mid-career professionals who are seeking greater visibility and clarity around their current role or a role that they're seeking. But I also do training for organizations from the sense of taking teams from all things leadership, communication, personal growth, and conducting trainings to help deepen insights, strengthen communication streams, and further develop the individual so that the team can be stronger. I do that with assessment tools like DISC, Lead 360, and I'm also building out curriculum so that not only organizations but individuals as well can access my online courses. And so I'm thrilled to be making the connection, not just with those three pillars that I'm always talking about: leadership, communication, and personal growth, but tying the elements of my book into that, Growth Matters 2.0, where I'm able to take people through a coaching system as well as an actual training model to help you gain the growth that you desire. So that's kind of high level me in a bucket. Um, Dr. Celeste and I, as I said, are two kindred spirits with the author piece, the connection with growth, and even though growth can look differently with me versus Dr. Payne, I feel like our overall goal still stems around just the therapeutic development towards wellness and art and overall growth. So, where do you want to go next, Dr. Payne? Where should we
So,
take them?
so I wanted to ask just a couple of questions to clarify. Like, who would your ideal person to work with be? Who needs Dr. Pamela Davis, and what are they saying about themselves now?
Okay. Wow. So, a person who is into a career and they are not feeling fulfilled. They feel like they have stagnated or that their ceiling is lowered, and they are not truly feeling just the joy of doing the thing that they're doing. So sometimes we get in roles that we become very mechanical and robotic with, and we don't feel that sense of fulfillment. And so oftentimes people are coming to me saying they feel stuck, or they're not sure they're doing the right thing, or they want to shift careers and they don't know where to start. And so that is my prime avatar of a client in terms of the one-on-one coaching that I do. As for organizations, I do a lot around just the cohesiveness in those three elements: leadership, communication, and personal development. And so teams that are looking for a retreat or they're looking for a reset, those are the types of clients that seek me out and that I serve best with the services that I offer. How
Mhm.
about you? What are you thinking, like when you are looking at the services that Arts Empowered offers? Who is it that you want seeking you, or that you feel you're attracting with the services that you've crafted?
So, what I've learned is I've taken the pain and the different things that I've been through and crafted this business around that, because I know if I'm going through it or have been through it, then there's other people like me. So I'm focused toward that woman who gives to everybody else, who pours out, who's there, the strong friend that's there for everybody, who's the answer for everybody, who puts herself last, and at some point finds themselves burned out, worn out, and feeling like they're disconnected from themselves. And so what I do through the arts is help you reconnect to yourself by allowing you to actually take a moment to relax, take a moment to breathe, take a moment to, you know, offload all of those responsibilities that you may have, even though you're going to have to deal with them again after our session. But what I know is that creativity and art, it reduces the stress hormone in your body.
Mm.
It's almost like our bodies are created to respond to creativity in a way that is far beyond the actual, for me, a paintbrush, or um, drawing on a piece of paper or coloring, which are all great ways to lower your stress. But your body actually responds to that in a way that produces healing. And that's my goal, is to help you heal enough so you can get with Dr. Pam and and grow in your career, in your life, in your business, in a way that you know that you wanted to grow. Because most of us know where we're supposed to be. It's just, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to overcome the roadblocks in the way? And some of those roadblocks are inner roadblocks, where it's emotional things, it's baggage, it's trauma. But then the other things are the mechanical things that people might need to know to be a good leader. Like, you might want to be in leadership, but you might have some roadblocks. And so that's where what my ideal customer would be, is that woman who's not ashamed to say, you know what, I'm overwhelmed and I need some help. And I'm gonna give you a paintbrush and we're gonna brush that stuff away.
Yeah. So can you I was about to say, can you paint a picture? Of course you can. Can you talk though, like an example of what a paint session with you, like, how does that all come together? A painting session with you.
Are you talking about like once we started, like when you come in the door, what we do? Because I would love to share that. So
Yes, yes, please.
So, not only I have a group called the Self Care Art Club, and we meet once a month. We met last Friday. It was fun. I wish I could. I'm going to do that. Just, I normally wouldn't do this, but this is what we painted last time.
That is beautiful.
And so how we start off is I really take them through some grounding and breathing exercises so that they can be relaxed. So we get on a Zoom, and talk. We talk about the theme of our painting. We do our breathing exercises. We calm ourselves down, and then we talk about what the painting is. This painting was called Maybe, and it was, since it was May, um, maybe. So during May, we are focused on really honing in on who we're supposed to be and owning it and embracing it. And that was from the story of Queen Esther, who was born a refugee, slave. She was an orphan. Everything was against her,
Yeah.
like being somebody.
Yeah.
But the one reference to that says, maybe you are called for such a time as this. And I think there's so many people, even in this time of chaos in the world, that are called to do something now, but you're looking at what you've been through. So we talk through that first before we paint, and then we just quietly paint. and I give you a chance to paint with me. I go through every step with you. So even that, someone's like, oh, that looks too complicated. It's really not, because I take you through every single step. And then most of the times we're not able to finish the whole painting on one session. So we come back together, we talk about a little bit, just answer a couple of questions if there are any about our topic. And then I let them go and paint, and then they share their artwork after they're done. And then we do it all again. And in my community, I do make sure that you're encouraged throughout the week, give you therapeutic tips to help you stay calm and stay centered throughout the week so that you can be your best self all week.
Wow. Folks, are you hearing all of just the value add that you're getting through the art therapy session? So not just the art, but just the mental therapy in terms of breathing exercises. And I don't know about you, but I definitely can, in the run of a week, be wound up just with, all of the demands. And even for me, because I'm so intense, and Dr. Celeste can appreciate this,
Uh-oh.
it's hard to get me to settle down, like to do so. I understand the benefit that once I do, I'm sure I get lost in it. I get lost in the painting, and the weight of the day, the week subsides for the moment. So that is excellent. That is
Mm.
excellent. Um,
I
I
wanted
want
to
to talk.
ask you about your because I know that you have a community and you have, how would people navigate through that? Like, what, when they come in, what state are they in? And then as a coach, as a mentor, as a leader
Mhm.
who's leading other leaders, what do you expect people to come in as and process through and emerge as a result of being a part of your organization?
Yeah. So I feel like birds of a feather flock together. So I feel as though I'm drawn to people who are like me, or in the state that I have like transformed, or am transforming through. And that is the reinvention of myself. So my whole career of being in education, and reinventing myself in a way where I'm still using the skills and experiences that I had, as a teacher and principal and district administrator, now to coach women who are seeking, as I said, more visibility, and just that reinvention of, okay, yes, I've been on this job for X number of years, but that's not really what I'm best at. And so the community that I'm building, both online in terms of my physical online community, as well as those that are just following on my social platforms. I am building a space, a safe space, where women can be vulnerable with a group or a community of like-minded women, women who are serious about growth, women who are ready to be intentional, women who are just genuinely releasing those fears and barriers that have been in the way of them, scaling their growth um, at a level that they're ready to. And so, accessing the community is simple. Um, I have a link where folks can subscribe, and it literally takes you through as much or as deep as you want to engross yourself. I wanted to create a space that was not another thing to do, like that you had to check every day. I kind of have a cadence where you're going to get some motivation weekly, and you're also going to have access to me via live coaching monthly. So it's a way to be able to tap in when you need to and absorb all that you need to get you back out running. But it's also okay if you say, all right, well, I'm not trying to um, get all deep and intense with Dr. Davis this week. I'm going to unplug for a second. Well, it's fine. You can still catch up when you are ready to dive back in. And so just a community of like-minded women who are serious about growth with just the right amount of dosage that you can access and tap into as you need it.
Mhm. And I'm going to take this opportunity. I see that there are more people chiming in and viewing. Just let us know who you are in the chat. Tell us hello so we can um, acknowledge you. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put those in the comments also, and we will address those towards the end.
Yeah. So, what do you say? Are we ready for some questions that maybe we can share that's giving advice or taking us a little deeper?
Sure.
All
I'll
right.
let you start with the questions.
All right. Very good. All right. So, the first one is what's one lesson in this season of life? Um, what's one lesson this season of life has been teaching you?
Okay, so my major lesson is that pretty much you can't pour from an empty cup and expect that you're going to show up as your real self, as your full self, as your whole self in public. And so, and when it matters most, because there are people who depend on us. And it's so funny. I'm going to post this tomorrow, but there was a picture of me on my birthday 9 years ago. And it wasn't on my birthday, but I was going to a concert, and I know, I remember that day because I felt um, drained. I felt as if I was just showing up just to be showing up. And I remember, being in that period of where I'm producing, I'm still leading, but I am on E. And gas wasn't even $5 at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm on E. And so, and I was helping others and people depended on me, but internally I was exhausted. And I looked at that picture, and I'm going to post tomorrow that picture,
Mhm.
and it's not great. And I was dressed up at a
Mhm.
concert, but my
Mhm.
face looked like I was drained. And so I think one of the lessons that this season has taught me is that I matter no matter what else is going on, no matter who else needs me, no matter what other responsibilities I think I have, because some responsibilities are false responsibilities.
Mhm.
Um, I've had to prioritize my responsibilities and really take time to make sure that I was okay.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we go through transition, we go through change, and we're programmed. And unfortunately, sometimes Black women are programmed to keep going, keep
Mhm.
doing, keep doing. I remember a song when I was I forgot what commercial it was. I'm sure it's a real song, but they would say, I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan. It's like I can do everything. I can be superwoman. And I've chosen to disengage from that type of um, model. And this season has taught me that I don't have to be everything to everybody. I just need to be who I'm supposed to be to the people who I'm called to be.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good because when that light comes on like empty
That engine,
and
check engine light.
yes, and you still feel the weight of somebody calling on you to pour, to pour, to pour, you definitely have to prioritize and decide what has to come off of the plate in order to make sure you take care of yourself. Yeah.
And as leaders and people who people need, our healing is not loud. It's quiet, it's private. It means a weekend away. It means turning off your phone.
Hmm.
It means office hours. We're going to talk about that next time. We're not going to talk about that, but it means boundaries. It means protecting the time that you need to recharge and rest. Um, Sleep is one of the only times that your body and God made it that way. Your body was made that way, that sleep is when your body regenerates itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so to neglect yourself of rest means to neglect yourself of your body's natural ability to heal itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Um, I think my answer to the question, is it
Hmm.
okay if we go there? My answer
Yeah.
to the question is the reality that growth is sometimes invisible. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's just a lot of pressure, or there can be pressure on us to produce visible growth. And I know this isn't per se something new for me, but I have to continue to remind myself, like, so even in those times where I'm not seeing the growth either in number of clients or number of contracts. Sometimes those numbers are misleading in terms of whether or not growth has actually taken place. And so that's the lesson that I am just reminding myself, because what I get as just continued confirmation of not only the work but the impact of my work as an executive coach and as a speaker and leader is some of those small wins that are silent. They don't always make it to Facebook. They don't always get the trending likes. But as I look at the progress that I've made over the years, and even some of those wins that I have not given myself credit for, I'm learning in this season that growth can be invisible, and that if I'm truly measuring growth, that I do that through comparing myself to where I was last year this time, or 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And that before I started this business, I don't think I would have ever dreamt of becoming a business owner. And I'm just grateful to God that this was laid on my spirit, and that He's continued to confirm for me the validity, the need, and just the fact that He is the one that's sustaining me and being able to help me extend my reach to my true audience. And so,
Hmm. And one thing I wanted to say about you is you're very intentional. And to me, you're like an example of being consistent, because like you said, you've been, what, this was 12 years this year? What year?
8, year
Eight.
8.
I'm
Yes.
speaking at
Keep
12.
pushing it. Yes, ma'am.
Eight, 8 years, but leaving, steady principal job, district leader job, to follow your passion, and your consistency is very evident
Yeah.
in how you show up. And I love what you said about how growth can be invisible, because if your roots don't grow, that's underground. Nobody sees that. But
Right.
consistency produces roots that ensure a harvest on the top. And so you already know, I admire the consistency and the dedication that you have to growth matters. Whether, like you say, you're having your 50,000 month, $50,000 a month, or if it's a lean month,
Yeah.
your stance is still the same. And that's a great example to any entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
which kind of leads us into our next question,
Yeah.
which is, what advice would you give someone considering entrepreneurship, or someone who's starting out maybe in their first year or two?
Okay. So I think the best advice is um, just confirming your value. Um, Too often, I feel like we shy away from the value add that we are. So the skills, the experience, the knowledge, the things that your hands can do, the things that in terms of your mind and your creativity, sometimes we downplay those things. So often when I'm talking to women just in the form of encouraging and coaching, but for sure encouraging. If you've been on a job 10, 15, 20 years, there is something that you have developed in terms of talent and skills that you can replicate or that you should be able to replicate somewhere else. And so that's thing one. And I'll follow it with a second in terms of doing it afraid,
Mhm.
doing it afraid. And I may not have always, advised like this, like probably 10, 15 years ago, doing it afraid. No, Pam would have been saying, listen, you need to get your little plan together. You need to have it, locked and loaded, from A to Z, from Z to A. And I have learned that along the way that I don't have to have it all the way figured out, that I can launch something that in process gives me information that I need in order to be able to go to the next step. Like I can't go ahead and figure out steps 1 through 5. I may have to launch something to figure out that this is really not needed right now, or I really need to go back and revisit this. And so those are just two things that I think of when advising anyone that's considering whether you have a concept or whether you've started already or considering scaling. Um, I just want you to know that you have the skills and ability. You just got to um, pinpoint it in a way that it's confirmed to be able to be passed off or presented to your target audience, and then go ahead and do it afraid. Whether it's a food truck, whether it's a online boutique, whether it's something related to technology that is going to save us money, go ahead and do it afraid, because um, you're potentially sitting on a gift that more people than you can imagine really need. So, how about you? What do you say?
So some of ours overlap. I wrote mine down.
Did you? Okay.
um, First thing I would say is start with what's already in your hands, what you already know that you can do. She said something
Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people wait till everything's perfect. She talked about doing it afraid, but I'm talking about the perfection part where, you may not have a website yet or a logo or the money or the confidence to do it, but there's something in you that says you should do it.
Yeah.
Um, but entrepreneurship grows through movement and not perfection. And so I love when you said, don't, start it, because you might go through plan out steps 1 through 5 and realize that your target only wants steps 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and you don't need 3 through 5, and you wasted all that time doing all of that. You can start and then see what your market responds to. And like you said, if it's something that not hitting right now, put that on the shelf
Yep.
and listen to those people, see what they want. Um, don't build, this is one for me, don't build a business that looks successful only on the outside.
Mm,
But as you're building your business, um, don't drain yourself doing it. Like business is hard.
mm-hmm.
It takes energy, takes time. For me, I work during the day. I'm still in the school system. So literally when I get off from work, I take like 30 to 45 minutes to regroup, and I'm working on my business from 5 to 9. So I go to my 9 to 5, but then my 5 to 9 is developing this business. But one of the things that I do, like today, I wasn't telling you, I was talking to someone else. I was filling out some paperwork because I have a 501(c)(3), and there's paperwork that you have to fill out in order to accept donations and solicit donations. And it's a budget form. And so I want my business internally. You want your business internally to be right. Y'all need to register your businesses. You don't have a business if it's not registered with the Secretary of State. You don't. So register your stuff, get your paperwork in order. And one of the things I learned about having paperwork in order is that when you're legal in the earth can give you what you need. But if you're illegal, nobody's investing in some illegal business.
Yeah.
And lastly, learn how to pivot.
All
You
the
got to be
time.
flexible. You got to be flexible. Every season in entrepreneurship won't be the same. There'll be times, there's things like with my Arts Empowered. When I was before I was a nonprofit, I had an art gallery. I was in Louisiana. I had a whole 1,200 square foot art gallery where I would, you know, and people wanted to have paint parties, paint parties, paint parties. But that was a pandemic thing, a way to people for people to cope during the pandemic. And though people still do it, it's not as popular as it was back then. And so what I'm saying is learn how to pivot. So what I learned how to do was notice, what did people get from the paint parties? And that's therapeutic benefits. So that's what I'm focusing on now.
Yeah.
It's still the same thing, but the focus is different.
Yeah.
And so learning how to pivot and be willing to evolve, even when you know, what your business start. I'm sure you can attest to this. And I would like you to share, like, how has your business changed from 8 years ago when you first started? How has it evolved?
Yeah. So I still have like the little I still have like the little book where I first scratched out my business plan. And um, over the 8 years, what has truly evolved is my clarity around who I am, what I do, and um, the services I offer. Because 8 years ago, I was so green. I was trying to save everybody. And, you know, even just the discomfort of when someone would ask me, so what do you do? That. And so over the years, that has evolved in a way where I'm crystal clear about who I serve. So much so that when I'm approached by someone that I don't serve, I'm okay with saying, well, that's out of my scope, or I can help you in this way, but with respect to, this other thing that you're asking for, it's outside of my scope, and being okay with that. And so I feel like, it's important as entrepreneurs to understand that you can't be all things to everyone. And moreover, sometimes I think it's confusing, when you are, and I found myself there where I've been doing things that were good and that I could do, but they were not aligned to who I truly am. And so I think it's just important to be crystal clear around the service, the audience, and just the messaging around what you do.
That's good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Well, listen, I feel like you, the branches or the segments of your work, I'll say it like that, the segments of your work intertwine in terms of the art, the therapy, and wellness. And so, so a lot of times I'm picturing like, just this headline of, who we are, in a way that when our audience sees us, they automatically think of those things, art and wellness and therapy, educator, author, right?
Right.
And you've proven that you're an expert in all of those things. So there's no question or wariness around trusting you to speak on those things, as well as to, provide services and products around it. So
Yeah.
you
That's
want to
a
add anything to, I feel like we haven't talked about products or
okay.
anything that you have coming up.
Yeah. So I am, what do I have? Oh, so June, pretty much my May is closing out the school year as a teacher. I'm so excited. Got about 9 days,
I was
countdown.
about to ask, are we in the single digits yet?
How we are. So we've got, what's today? Today is Tuesday. So we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then we got Monday, Monday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're off Monday. Then we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's 6 days
Okay.
for the students. Hallelujah. But
You can make it.
jumping into June, I have a couple of events that I will be at on June the 13th. And then when we do this again, we'll put the graphics up so people
Okay.
can see where we're going to be. So June the 13th, I believe, I'll be in Palaca at the Juneteenth Festival.
Hmm.
And not only will we be painting there, but I will have my book, the Juneteenth Dictionary for Kids, which I'm loving this book because I was reading some of the reviews on Amazon, and there were adults who were like, I know you said this book was for kids, but I learned a lot about, yeah. So I have that, will be in Palaca June the 13th. June the 18th, I believe I'm at another pop-up, a Juneteenth event. I'll make sure I get the flyer for the next time. And then on June 19th, I'll be at the Clay County Juneteenth Festival. And then one of my highlights for the month of June is that I will be a featured presenter at Self Care Saturday, or Self Empowerment Saturday, which is going to be at the Mark Church in Jacksonville on Shad Road. And so from, I believe, 9 to 12 or 1 o'clock, we'll
Hmm.
be talking about self care, talking about therapeutic art. I believe that we will be actually painting at that event. And also, there'll be another lady on there. She has um, a book, I believe it's called The Immunity Blueprint. And we're going to be talking about health, wellness from the physical point and then the emotional wellness. And so that's all I think I have coming up.
That's a
That's a
lot, but
lot.
that's great. You're going to be busy. You're
Yeah.
going to be busy the month of June.
Oh, you know what? I have one more thing that I wanted to
Yeah.
invite people out to. So I am going to be doing mini masterpiece Fridays for kids, right? If you're in Jacksonville, you should meet me at the Beach Boulevard Flea Market on Fridays. I'll be there from 11 to 4:30. I'll paint with your kids. You'll have something fun for them to do. I'm very skilled at what I do. I can wrangle I can wrangle them from kindergarten to high school. I can handle all of
Yeah.
it. So they can come and paint. And then finally, if you have a summer camp or a summer
Hmm.
program and you would want me to come and do a mobile mini masterpiece class with your people, your little people, I would love to do that too. And what I'll do is come back in the comments and put how you can reach me
Yes.
on there. And what about you?
That's great. I want to ask you a question before I talk about my events. So for like the Juneteenth event and the Palaca event, you're painting or people painting when they come to you.
They're painting when they come. So what I'm going to do is set up. So I do a lot of outdoor events, but like when we talk about pivoting, I'm
Hmm.
pivoting to, yeah, you're coming to a outdoor event, but I'm going to have you register to come and sit at my table and paint in advance. So, for when we talk about systems and things next time, that will help me prepare better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, yeah, so I probably will be painting something, but the goal is to engage people in painting, children and adults.
Nice. 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 All right. So, in terms of events that I have coming up, so this coming Saturday, I'm participating in an online event. It's called the Confidence Experience. This is kind of I think it's a 3 to 4 hour summit of a community of women from all across the country, and I believe some of them are from other countries as well. But we're coming into the space to just talk about confidence. There'll be two panels. One of the topics is about the imposter syndrome, and the other is about the same topic that I was saying earlier about reinventing ourselves and how we have been able to just show up stronger. So I'm participating on the Reinventing Myself panel with some other women, and I'm really excited just to hear just the feedback from both. That's a great segue into talking about one of the freebies that I have that are, it's a freebie, but it's a freemium in terms of a free online course that I created. If you subscribe, and I'll put the link in the chat so that you can see, go to my website. Once you click on the subscribe button, you will be able to access the first, I think it's 3 or 4 episodes of my online course. All right. And so once you get in, once you subscribe, I'll be able to keep you updated on how to access other content that is inside my members only community. So the first key is to subscribe so that you can get the updates. But what I have inside the members only area is both some free as well as paid content that, again, speaks to that audience of women primarily. Sorry, fellas. That audience of women around the imposter syndrome. That's the name of the free course that I was telling you. It's called Stop Shrinking, How to Navigate and Grow Through the Imposter Syndrome. There are about 15 episodes of that. By just subscribing, you're going to get 3 just right out of the gate. So that's one course that I have. I also have a DISC course. So if you are familiar with the personality assessment tool DISC, I have a course, inside my community that helps you just get a deeper understanding about what DISC does. It's for free. And from there, if you choose, you can purchase a DISC assessment so that you can get a more comprehensive report about your behavior and personality style. But the 2 courses that I'm most proud of that I will be doing a 3rd cohort around the Clarity Lab. I launched it in March under a different name, but it was the Get Clarity, Build Confidence, Take Action. So I'm opening up the 3rd cohort of that starting I want to say the first week in June. That's at a price. And so you need to be inside the community so that you can get the information on how to access it. It's 3 nights with me, but also has other rich, robust resources that you'll have access to inside the course. As always, the summer is a great time to connect me to your organization, whether it's for developing a retreat or scheduling me to deliver training for you through a series, or on retainer as a coach for your organization. So some of the higher eds I've been working with Dr. Payne, I've been able to offer ongoing coaching for faculty as well as other staff to assist with not only development, so for people who are trying to shore up stronger in a role, but even for those that are accelerators who are on the fast track for promotion or further leadership development. And so that's kind of the ins and outs that I have going on, but the big ticket is to subscribe so that you'll be on the inside scoop in terms of events. Now, I do have another in-person event coming up, but I'll just let this be the teaser for that, and we'll talk more about that on a future episode. So,
Yeah. So, what about when are we coming back? Because I'm sure people are going to watch our replay. People have been engaging. Um, how often is Talk Tuesday, and when are we coming back?
well, I'm feeling like doing a every other week rotation might be good. Let you digest what we've talked about. Let our audience digest what we've talked about, and then skip a week and come back, alternating
Mhm.
weeks, so we can also give you a chance to share any topics that are of interest to you. So we have an idea of where we're going perhaps in these first few episodes, but we'd love
Mhm.
some feedback. How's that sound?
That sounds awesome. So that would be, we'll be back July the 2nd.
June.
Oh, no. Yeah, June the 2nd. I'm sorry. I'm going a whole month. Be back June the 2nd. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so we'll be back June the 2nd, and we'll be right here at this time. I think we've done good. We've done about 50 minutes, and
Yeah.
I think this was great. We're going to go ahead and put our, if you look on your screen, you can see how to contact us um, on our social media platforms. I
Mm-hmm.
put a link to the Self Care Art Club in the comments, and Dr. Pam will put hers in.
Shortly.
Yeah, she'll put it in shortly.
Yes.
Alrighty. So, do you have any closing encouragement you want to give?
So, my closing encouragement would be to grow through it, despite how it looks, despite how it feels, that you look for the growth opportunity in the situation. Um, I feel like a lot of the growth that I've gained has come through discomfort.
Hmm.
It's strange that it happens that way, but my words of encouragement to you tonight are to grow through it because growth matters.
Mhm.
How about
And
you?
mine would be own it.
Yes.
Just own who you are, nurture who you are, and believe in yourself enough to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, and to give yourself the space to not only grow, but to rest in who you really are.
All right, folks. Well, with that, we're going to sign off of Talk Tuesday. We so appreciate you tuning in and listening. If you are watching this on the replay, still feel free to chime in the comments. We will continue to track and follow. So until next time,
Yes, we'll see you. Talk Tuesday.
all right, good night.